Typically, imagination is portrayed as an exclusively internal activity, one that does not depend on external conditions or, in the best case, depends on these conditions only to the extent that they determine the material on which the imagination must operate. The process of imagination per se, its direction at first glance appears to be guided only from within by the feelings and needs of the individual, and thus to be wholly subjective and not based on objective factors. In actuality, this is not true. Psychology long ago established a law according to which the drive to create is always inversely proportional to the simplicity of the environment. Thus, writes Reboot, when we compare primitive people with civilized people, it turns out that given the same population size, the proportion of innovators is remarkably unequal in the two cases. The wise man explains this dependence of creativity on the environment extremely well. He writes, let us suppose a child is born in the island of Soma who possesses the unique and extraordinary genius of Mozart. What can he accomplish? The most he can do is expand a scale with 3 or 4 notes to 7 and create somewhat more complex melodies. But he would not be just as incredible of writing symphonies as Archimedes would be of inventing an electrodynamic machine. Every inventor, even a genius, is also a product of his time and his environment. His creations arise from needs that were created before him and rest on capability that also exists outside of him. This is why we emphasize that there is a strict sequence in the historical development of science and technology. No invention or scientific discovery can occur before the material and psychological conditions necessary for it to occur have appeared. Creation is a historical culminative process where every succeeding manifestation was determined by the preceding one. This explains the disproportionate distribution of innovators and creators among different classes. The privileged classes supply an incredibly greater percent of scientific, technological, and artistic creators because it is in these classes that all the conditions needed for the creation are present. Because it is in these classes that all the conditions needed for creation are present.